Mexican though. I think he was German. Johann Frauenstein. Now, mostly chicken enchiladas are composed of onions. So I've got a small onion here, which will make up about 3/4 of the entire chicken enchilada. And with my chicken enchiladas, I really like to, season it with chili powder, and that's it. Tony here is going to peel the garlic for me. This is going up to medium heat so that we can saute some of these onions. I like to brown the butter though. Sometimes when you're cutting onions, chefs slice their finger, and when they do, normally they just suck the blood out, and they don't bandage it, because, seasoning blood. Now, I'm going to dice these onions pretty nice and tight and close, mostly because I like little flavor crystals bursting while you're eating enchiladas. How you doing on that garlic, Tony? Peeling it. Alright. If you never knew, I actually moved around quite a bit when I was younger, and my grandparents, Uncle Maxie, I called him, even though it was my grandpa. He had some chickens on his farm, so I'm not very foreign to chickens themselves, and I have a pretty healthy respect for them. I used to chase them around on the farm, and in fact, chickens were bred by crossbreeding penguins, which makes them flightless, and flamingos. It just turned into a terrible, terrible situation. Because chickens, they just poop everywhere. I'm not joking. I was chasing chickens one time, and I caught one. It took me forever to catch this chicken. Like years. I didn't live on the farm for years, but we would go there every once in a while. And it wasn't until I had to be like 12 years old that I actually caught it. That I actually caught a chicken. And when I caught it by the feathers, which means its butt was pointed towards me. And it pooped all over me. Like just pooped everywhere. And I was on the farm, so no one really cared. And I was like, Mom, this chicken pooped on me. And she's like, well, what do you want us to do about it? I was like, I'd like to get this poop off me. And so my Uncle Maxie just went and grabbed a hose and hosed me off. I had chicken poop all over my clothes, all over my face, and they just threw me under a hose. And I had to go around for the rest of the day covered in chicken poop and hose water.
You don't do that when you're scared?
Poop? Actually, when I was... Another funny story. When I was younger, I think I was 16 or something. My mom made me wear plastic underwear. 16 years old.
Yeah, that never works out.
Wearing plastic underwear is kind of embarrassing, especially when you go out on your first date. But I just kept on pooping everywhere. So I was so scared of girls. It was a rough life I led. It's a good thing we moved around a lot. Anyways, butter. Right. Now this butter is actually derived from a pig in South America, special type of butter. And it has a lot higher fat content, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm just going to spread this around a little bit, and I'm going to brown it up, because I like my onions to be brown when they're composed and that kind of stuff. In reality, what I'm doing right now is just making sauce. This has nothing to do with the chicken. Normally, right after Tony's done peeling all this garlic and stuff, he would go and cut the chicken, but unfortunately, I've already cut all the chicken and thrown it into my enchilada mix. So Tony's just going to stand here and stare at you. Awkward. Actually, he's going to make some tortillas.
You could do that for a while.
Yeah. So, sometimes people like to leave their tortillas soft. But me, I like to put a little canola oil in the pan, fry up my tortillas. Now these tortillas, normally they come in larger sizes, but I believe Donna went shopping, so she got us the miniature
normally hangs
Now,
out.
if you guys haven't noticed, I've been chopping onions for probably
How come you're not crying?
5 minutes. Actually, I was born without tear glands. It's really a funny story. It's a funny story. I wasn't, alright, that's a lie. I wasn't born without tear glands, but my father was in the army for 20 years and he didn't want a B-word son. So what he did is he had, instead of, doing the normal stuff like removing certain parts of the baby's body, they removed my tear glands and they left everything else. It's really weird. So, no, I don't cry when I chop onions anymore. Well, not anymore. Never did. Never will. Thanks for bringing it up, though, Don.
He doesn't even cry during Marley. Never seen him.
Oh my
He doesn't cry, period. What part of that?
Yeah, it was just.
I cry, but
You guys have no idea how
Everybody
soft
cries during the notebook.
Tony. Tony was bawling his eyes out like a little baby. Gosh, but he's just such a sweet kid. You can't help it.
If you're a bird, I'm
What?
That's what she said.
So, is there any questions right now about what's going on? Anyone have any? No questions? Any about my life?
We really don't have tear ducts.
Normally, if there's ever anything like a tear on my face, it's probably because it was recently raining directly on my face below my eyes. Or I was just laughing really hard about a joke, and then some laughing tears came out somehow that crying tears couldn't. So a little bit more about garlic. What do you think about it?
Good. I want to know about food.
You want to know about
I want to
food?
know about food, okay?
Garlic's food.
I don't
I
care
eat
about
garlic.
tear ducts. I don't care about chickens.
Are you
I
sure?
do, but
Well, chickens are food, depending on how you look at it.
Well, what am I supposed to explain if you don't care about any of this?
Are we having onion controls?
Oh, I've already made this clear. Only onions. Only onions in my enchiladas. Anyways, I'm going to fry this up for a little while. I believe this is called double rising yeast action method.
Mom.
What?
Blasphemy.
What's that called?
Sauteing. Onions and garlic. Now most of this will be wasted. So. Nope. What? Oh yeah. Tony's gonna go blend some fire roasted tomatoes right now. Fire roasted tomatoes are mostly just tomatoes roasted in fire. They come together in this dish, mostly for flavoring and a topping. And I'll let Tony talk about fire roasted tomatoes for a second.
I don't even like tomatoes, man. They smell awful.
Rachel Ray will saute some stuff sometimes. I don't really like her techniques though. Sometimes she'll do it and it just bores the crap out of me. So I really like to turn the stuff on the highest heat possible to get them going really, really fast. I like to evaporate my my onions in order to dry them out as much as possible so that people can't taste them. And if they do, then I've failed. What?
This was really
As this is cooking, it's gonna warm up nice and fast. But while I was cooking the chicken, we threw garlic in the chicken, and I don't know what I'm doing right now. Oh yeah, let's go for that. This is just gonna simmer for a little while. together in a paste, kind of, and I'm slowly going to add some chili powder to give it some flavor. Now, normally I would put the whole onion in here, but I'm sure you guys are tired of watching me cut the onion. So, as this warms up, add some chili powder for flavoring. Sometimes I'll add garlic powder, but seeing as I already cut some garlic in here, through it in, I'm just going to stick to that. And this will go for what? Like 10 or 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying it's more paste-like.
Yeah, a lot more pasty. And it'll come together a lot more, but if you don't like that, you can add water, and it'll separate the paste out. So anyways, all this will come together into the paste, and we take a quarter cup of that, and we throw it into, oh, you got a mirror, into the chicken. This has been sitting for a little while. Well, it's been sitting for a while, so it kind of looks gross. But we throw a quarter cup into the chicken, mix it all around, throw a little extra cheese in there, have the cheese melt a little bit, and then we take it. Yes, we take a little bit, throw it in the tortilla, wrap up the tortilla, and then
Show what it's going to do.
Hey.
No, I'm saying.
Well, they don't know how to wrap tortillas, man. Provide tortilla wrapping techniques. Oh, I get it up here. My hands. Oh, back. Can you see? You guys see the tortillas? Now I would just put this in the center, and I would take the tortilla, keeping all of this stuff nice and tight. I would wrap the tortilla into a nice little shell. It's like a miniature hot dog, except corn tortilla and the chicken and stuff inside instead of big parts. And then I would take this and put it in a Pyrex bowl. And we would then, because it's already cooked chicken, cook that for about 15 minutes. In our ovens, it took like 20, more like. And we would put all the rest of the sauce over the top of the tortillas with a generous amount of cheese. We took a few liberties with the amount of cheese that we used. And they're about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's about 7 enchiladas in there. Chicken, onion, garlic, corn tortillas, fire roasted, tomato paste kind of stuff. And what do we use? Cheddar cheese?
Yeah.
Cheddar cheese.
We're big
And
fans of
toppings.
cheese, so.
Bake it for 15 minutes. I covered it in tin foil because I like to keep my cheese nice, soft, and bubbly. And you got yourself a nice chicken enchilada dinner.
Oh my god.
How we cook the chicken? We took the chicken, I threw a little bit, well, more like 2 tablespoons of butter in a pan, and then I threw the chicken in there, seared the chicken until it was cooked all the way through. And we also put garlic in it. Yeah, I put garlic in it for some chicken flavoring. And that's about it. And then we took the chicken out, threw it in there, mixed it with tomato
So
sauce.
cooked all the way through, just on the stove top?
Yes.
Okay.
And those are chicken enchiladas, guys. Enjoy.